Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have all the luck, while others struggle no matter what they do? The secret might surprise you. It's not about what's happening on the outside, but what's going on inside your head. Our thoughts are like invisible architects, quietly shaping the world we see and experience every day. This isn't just positive thinking, it's a deep truth about how our minds work with reality. Today we're going to explore a powerful idea that could change everything for you. It's not about working harder or doing more. It's about seeing the world in a whole new way. Imagine if you could put on a pair of glasses that suddenly made everything look different, brighter, full of possibilities. That's what we're talking about here, but these glasses are in your mind. Think of your mind as a mirror. Everything you see in the world, your job, your relationships, your successes and failures, is just a reflection of what's in your thoughts and beliefs. It's like you're walking around in a world made up of mirrors, and everywhere you look, you see your own thoughts looking back at you. This might sound strange at first. After all, we're used to thinking that the world is just out there and we're observing it. But science and ancient wisdom both tell us that our perception shapes our reality more than we realize. When you start to understand this, it's like having a superpower. You can start to change your world by changing your thoughts. Now you might be thinking, that sounds nice, but does it really matter? Let me tell you, the stakes couldn't be higher. If we don't learn how to navigate our thoughts, we're like a ship without a rudder, tossed around by whatever waves come our way. We might miss out on amazing opportunities because we didn't believe they were possible. We might stay stuck in situations we don't like because we can't see a way out. But when we master this idea, everything changes. Suddenly, we're not just passengers in our lives, we're the captains. We can steer towards the things we want. We can create a life that's beyond what we ever thought possible. It's like having the cheat codes to reality. Think about it. What if you could look at a challenging situation and immediately see the opportunities in it? What if you could face your fears and see them shrink before your eyes? What if you could look in the mirror and truly love the person you see? All of this becomes possible when you understand how your thoughts create your reality. Let's dive a bit deeper into how this works. Our brains are constantly processing huge amounts of information from the world around us, but we can't pay attention to all of it. So our minds filter information based on what we believe and what we're focusing on. It's like when you buy a new car and suddenly you start seeing that model everywhere. The cars were always there, but now your brain is tuned to notice them. In the same way, if you believe the world is a harsh and unfriendly place, your mind will find evidence to support that belief. You'll notice the rude cashier but miss the person who held the door for you. This isn't just about putting on rose-colored glasses and ignoring problems. It's about understanding that your perception creates your experience of reality. And once you understand that, you can start to change it. So how do we start to change our inner world? It begins with awareness. Start paying attention to your thoughts throughout the day. Are they mostly positive or negative? Do you focus on what could go wrong or what could go right? Do you see challenges as roadblocks or as opportunities to grow? This isn't about judging yourself. We all have negative thoughts sometimes. The key is to notice them without getting caught up in them. It's like watching clouds pass across the sky. You can see them without becoming them. Once you're aware of your thoughts, you can start to choose them more consciously. This takes practice, but it gets easier over time. When you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern, gently redirect your mind to a more positive or constructive thought. For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I'm not good enough for this job," you could shift to, "I'm learning and growing every day. I have valuable skills to offer." It's not about denying reality, but about choosing a perspective that empowers you rather than limits you. As you start to change your thoughts, you'll begin to notice changes in your feelings and actions. When you believe in yourself, you're more likely to take risks and try new things. When you expect good things to happen, you're more likely to notice opportunities. It's like a positive ripple effect that spreads out into every area of your life. But here's the thing, this change doesn't happen overnight. Just like it takes time to learn a new skill or build muscle, it takes time to reshape your thought patterns. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Every time you catch a negative thought and choose a better one, you're rewiring your brain. Remember, your thoughts are powerful, but they're not all powerful. You can't just think your way to $1 million or a perfect relationship. The external world still exists with its own laws and rhythms. But by changing your thoughts, you change how you interact with that world. You open yourself up to possibilities you might have missed before. So how can you start putting this into practice? Here are some simple but powerful exercises you can try. Gratitude journal. Every night before bed, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you enjoyed a delicious meal or the sun was shining. This trains your brain to look for the positive. Affirmations. Choose a positive statement that resonates with you, like, I am capable of handling whatever comes my way, or I attract positive opportunities. Repeat it to yourself several times a day, especially when you're feeling doubtful. Visualization. Spend a few minutes each day imagining yourself living the life you want. Make it as vivid as possible. How does it feel? What can you see, hear, smell? This helps your brain start to believe that this reality is possible. Mindfulness. Practice being present in the moment without judgment. This could be through meditation, deep breathing, or simply focusing on your senses as you go about your day. This helps you step back from your thoughts and choose them more consciously. Reframing. When something challenging happens, ask yourself, what's another way I could look at this? Try to find a perspective that feels better and is still realistic. Remember, the goal isn't to never have a negative thought again. That's not realistic or even desirable. Negative emotions and thoughts can be valuable signals that something needs our attention. The goal is to have a more balanced, empowering perspective that allows you to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. As we wrap up this exploration of how thoughts shape reality, I want to leave you with a powerful idea. Your thoughts are like seeds. Every thought you think is planting a seed in the garden of your life. Some thoughts are like weeds. They grow quickly and can choke out the plants you actually want. Other thoughts are like beautiful flowers or nourishing fruits. They make your life richer and more vibrant. The good news is you're the gardener. You get to choose which seeds to plant and which to weed out. It takes work, especially at first. You might have been unknowingly planting weed seeds for years, but with patience and practice, you can cultivate a beautiful, thriving garden of thoughts that creates a reality you love. This isn't just about personal happiness, though that's certainly part of it. When you change your thoughts, you change how you show up in the world. You become more positive, more resilient, more open to others. This affects everyone around you. In a very real way, by changing your thoughts, you're contributing to making the whole world a better place. So I encourage you to start paying attention to your thoughts. Notice the seeds you're planting. And remember, every moment is a new opportunity to choose a thought that serves you better. You have more power than you realize to shape your reality. It all starts in your mind. Understanding how your thoughts shape your reality is just the beginning of a fascinating journey of self-discovery. As you start to pay more attention to your inner world, you'll likely uncover beliefs and thought patterns you didn't even know you had. Some of these might surprise you. They could be limiting beliefs you picked up in childhood, or assumptions about the world that aren't serving you anymore. This process of uncovering and examining your beliefs can be challenging at times. You might find yourself facing fears or insecurities you've been avoiding, but it's also incredibly liberating. Each limiting belief you identify and change is like removing a weight you didn't know you were carrying. As you continue on this journey, you'll likely find that your understanding of yourself and the world around you starts to shift. Things that used to bother you might not seem so important anymore. You might find yourself feeling more compassionate towards others, recognizing that they too are shaped by their thoughts and beliefs. You might also start to see connections you never noticed before. Perhaps you'll realize that a challenge in one area of your life is connected to a belief you hold in a completely different area. These insights can be powerful catalysts for change and growth. As your inner world starts to shift, you'll likely notice changes in your outer world too. These might start small. Maybe you find yourself smiling more, or people seem friendlier. But over time, these changes can become more significant. You might find yourself naturally gravitating towards more positive people and situations. Opportunities that you might have missed or been too afraid to take before could start to appear. You might find yourself handling stress and challenges with more ease and grace. This doesn't mean that life suddenly becomes perfect or that you never face difficulties, but your perspective on those difficulties changes. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, you start to view them as opportunities for growth and learning. The changes you experience might surprise you. People who have embraced this way of thinking often report improvements in their relationships, career success, and even physical health. It's as if by changing their inner world, they've tuned into a different frequency of reality, one with more possibilities and joy. It's important to remember that this is an ongoing practice, not a one-time fix. Just like you need to keep exercising to stay physically fit, you need to keep working with your thoughts to maintain a positive, empowering mindset. There will be days when it's easier and days when it's harder. You might have periods where you fall back into old thought patterns. That's okay. It's all part of the journey. The key is to be gentle with yourself and keep coming back to the practice. Over time, you'll likely find that positive thinking becomes more natural. It becomes your default way of approaching the world. But even then, it's important to stay aware and conscious of your thoughts. The world is constantly changing, and new challenges can bring up new thought patterns to work through. The beauty of this practice is that it's always available to you. No matter where you are or what's happening in your life, you always have the power to choose your thoughts and shape your perception of reality. Morning mindset. Start your day by setting a positive intention. Before you get out of bed, take a few deep breaths and think about how you want to approach the day. What kind of energy do you want to bring to your experiences? Mindful moments. Throughout the day, take short breaks to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What are you thinking about? Use these moments to reset if needed, choosing more empowering thoughts. Evening reflection. Before bed, review your day. What went well? What could you have approached differently? Use this time to celebrate your successes and learn from challenges, always with an attitude of growth rather than judgment. Surround yourself with positivity. Choose books, music, and media that support a positive mindset. Spend time with people who uplift and inspire you. Practice self-compassion. Remember to be kind to yourself as you work on changing your thoughts. Negative self-talk can be a hard habit to break, but treating yourself with compassion can make a big difference. Keep learning. Stay curious about how your mind works. Read books, listen to podcasts, or take courses on psychology, mindfulness, or personal development. The more you understand about how thoughts shape reality, the more empowered you'll be to create positive change. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all negative thoughts or to pretend that everything is perfect all the time. It's about creating a balanced, realistic, yet optimistic way of viewing the world. It's about recognizing the power of your thoughts and using that power intentionally to create a life you love. As you continue on this journey of unveiling reality through your thoughts and perceptions, you'll likely find that it touches every aspect of your life. Your relationships might become deeper and more authentic as you learn to communicate more openly and compassionately. Your work might become more fulfilling as you approach challenges with creativity and resilience. You might even find yourself pursuing dreams you once thought were impossible. But perhaps most importantly, you'll develop a deeper relationship with yourself. You'll learn to trust your inner wisdom, to be kind to yourself in difficult times, and to celebrate your growth and achievements. This inner strength and self-awareness is the foundation for everything else in your life. So as we conclude this exploration of how thoughts shape reality, I encourage you to approach this practice with curiosity and openness. Be willing to question your assumptions about yourself and the world. Be patient with yourself as you learn and grow, and above all, remember that in every moment you have the power to choose your thoughts and shape your reality. Your journey of unveiling reality is just beginning. With each thought you choose, each belief you examine, you're creating ripples that can transform not just your life, but the world around you. It's a journey worth taking, and it starts right here, right now, with the very next thought you choose. Let's dive into the first key to unveiling reality: awareness. This might sound simple, but it's actually a powerful tool that many of us overlook. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly you can see things that were always there but hidden from view. When we talk about awareness in this context, we're talking about paying attention to your thoughts. It's about becoming an observer of your own mind. Most of the time, our thoughts run on autopilot. We have thousands of thoughts each day, but we're only consciously aware of a small fraction of them. Start by taking a few moments throughout your day to check in with yourself. What are you thinking right now? Are your thoughts mostly positive or negative? Are you worrying about the future, replaying past events, or focused on the present moment? You might be surprised by what you discover. Maybe you'll notice that you have a tendency to expect the worst in situations, or perhaps you'll realize that you're harder on yourself than you are on others. These patterns of thought have a big impact on how we experience the world, but we can't change them if we're not aware of them. It's important to approach this practice with curiosity rather than judgment. The goal isn't to label thoughts as good or bad, but simply to notice them. Think of yourself as a scientist, observing your thoughts with interest and detachment. As you practice awareness, you might notice that some thoughts are like background noise, always there but rarely noticed. Others might be more like a loud alarm demanding your attention. Pay attention to both. The quiet underlying thoughts often have a big influence on our mood and behavior. Remember, awareness is a skill that gets stronger with practice. At first, you might only catch yourself thinking negative thoughts after they've already affected your mood. That's okay. With time, you'll start to notice these thoughts as they're happening, giving you the opportunity to choose a different response. Once you've developed awareness of your thoughts, the next step is learning to choose them more consciously. This is where the real power lies. Just like you can change the channel on a TV if you don't like what's playing, you can learn to change the channel in your mind. This doesn't mean forcing yourself to think positive thoughts all the time. That's not realistic or helpful. Instead, it's about recognizing that you have options. When you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern, you can pause and ask, is this thought helping me? Is there another way I could look at this situation? For example, let's say you make a mistake at work. Your automatic thought might be, I'm so stupid, I always mess things up. Once you're aware of this thought, you can choose to shift it. You might think instead, everyone makes mistakes sometimes, what can I learn from this? Choosing your thoughts takes practice. At first, it might feel forced or unnatural. That's normal. You're building a new mental habit, and like any new habit, it takes time to feel natural. Keep at it, and it will get easier. One effective technique for choosing thoughts is to create a list of go-to positive thoughts or affirmations. These could be simple statements like, I am capable of handling challenges, or I choose to focus on solutions, not problems. When you catch yourself in a negative thought pattern, you can use one of these as a replacement. Another approach is to question your negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have for and against it? How would I look at this situation if it was happening to a friend instead of me? Often when we examine our negative thoughts, we realize they're not as accurate or helpful as we initially believed. Remember, the goal isn't to eliminate all negative thoughts. Some negative thoughts can be useful, alerting us to potential problems or areas for improvement. The key is to find a balance, where you're not controlled by negative thinking, but can use all your thoughts, positive and negative, in a way that serves you. Now that we've talked about awareness and choosing thoughts, let's discuss a crucial element that ties it all together: patience. Changing your thought patterns, and consequently your reality, is not an overnight process. It's more like planting a garden than flipping a switch. When you plant a seed, you don't expect to see a full-grown plant the next day. You water it, make sure it gets sunlight, and then you wait. It's the same with changing your thoughts and your reality. You're planting seeds of new thoughts and perspectives. It takes time for these to grow and bear fruit in your life. This is where many people get discouraged. They might try positive thinking for a few days or weeks, not see immediate results, and give up. But real, lasting change takes time. Your brain has spent years, maybe decades, thinking in certain patterns. It's going to take more than a few days to create new neural pathways. So how can you cultivate patience in this process? First, celebrate small victories. Maybe you caught yourself in negative self-talk and were able to shift to a more positive thought. That's a win. Or perhaps you handled a stressful situation with more calm than you would have in the past. These small changes are signs that your new thought patterns are taking root. It's also helpful to think of this as a journey rather than a destination. There's no point at which you'll suddenly have perfect thoughts and a perfect life. Instead, you're continually growing and evolving. Each day is an opportunity to practice and improve. Remember, change often happens gradually and then all at once. You might feel like nothing is changing for weeks or months, and then suddenly realize that your whole outlook on life has shifted. Trust the process and keep going, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Another aspect of patience is being gentle with yourself. You'll have days where you fall back into old thought patterns. That's not failure. It's part of the process. Instead of getting frustrated with yourself, see these moments as opportunities to practice awareness and choosing thoughts again. As you practice patience, you might find that it extends beyond just this process of changing your thoughts. You might become more patient with others, with life circumstances, even with the world at large. This patience can bring a sense of peace and acceptance, even as you continue to work towards positive change. Remember, every moment is a new opportunity to choose your thoughts and shape your reality. Even if you've had a whole day of negative thinking, you can always start fresh in the next moment. This journey of unveiling reality through your thoughts is ongoing, and each step forward is valuable, no matter how small it might seem. As you continue to practice awareness, consciously choose your thoughts, and cultivate patience, you'll likely start to notice shifts in your perception of reality. Colors might seem brighter, opportunities more abundant, challenges more manageable. This is the power of your thoughts at work, gradually but surely reshaping your experience of the world. Key 4. Focus on what you want. The art of positive attraction. Now that we've explored awareness, choosing thoughts, and patience, let's dive into a powerful principle that can accelerate your journey of unveiling reality, focusing on what you want. This key is about directing your mental energy towards your desires rather than your fears or limitations. Our minds are like magnets, attracting experiences that match our dominant thoughts. When we constantly think about what we don't want, we paradoxically tend to attract more of those unwanted experiences. It's like telling someone, "Don't think about a pink elephant." What's the first thing that pops into their mind? A pink elephant, of course. Instead of dwelling on what you want to avoid, shift your focus to what you want to create or experience. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing where to direct your mental energy. For example, instead of thinking, "I don't want to be in debt," try focusing on, "I want financial freedom." Instead of, "I don't want to be lonely," think about, "I want fulfilling relationships." This subtle shift can make a big difference in your perception and ultimately your reality. When you focus on what you want, you start to notice opportunities that align with your desires. It's like when you're thinking about buying a certain car model and suddenly you see that car everywhere. The cars were always there, but now your mind is tuned to notice them. Moreover, focusing on what you want helps you take inspired action. When you're clear about your desires, you're more likely to recognize and seize opportunities that can lead you towards them. You become more creative in finding solutions and more resilient in facing obstacles. Remember, this isn't about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about choosing where to direct your energy and attention. You can acknowledge difficulties while still keeping your focus on your ultimate goals and desires. To help you put these principles into practice, let's explore a powerful exercise that combines visualization and affirmation. This exercise can help train your mind to focus on what you want and to believe in its possibility. Start by finding a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed for about 10-15 minutes. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Now imagine a scenario in your life exactly as you'd like it to be. It could be related to your career, relationships, health, or any other area of your life. Make this vision as vivid and detailed as possible. What do you see? What can you hear? How does it feel to be in this ideal situation? As you hold this image in your mind, create a positive affirmation that captures the essence of this vision. For example, if you're visualizing career success, your affirmation might be, "I am confidently pursuing my passion and achieving my goals." If it's about relationships, it might be, "I am surrounded by love and create deep, meaningful connections." Repeat this affirmation to yourself several times, really feeling the truth of these words. Allow yourself to experience the positive emotions associated with this vision as if it were already your reality. Practice this exercise daily, preferably in the morning, to set a positive tone for your day. Over time, you'll likely find that your mind naturally starts to focus more on what you want, rather than what you don't want. As we near the end of our exploration of unveiling reality through thoughts and perception, let's touch on a practice that can profoundly shift your focus and amplify the power of the principles we've discussed: gratitude. Gratitude is like a spotlight that illuminates the positive aspects of your life. When you regularly practice gratitude, you train your mind to notice and appreciate the good things, big and small, that are already present in your life. This practice does two powerful things. First, it immediately shifts your focus to the positive, aligning with the principle of focusing on what you want. Second, it creates a sense of abundance and contentment, which can attract more positive experiences into your life. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect on things you're grateful for. These can be as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. Write these down in a gratitude journal or simply hold them in your mind. As you practice gratitude, you might notice a shift in your overall perspective. Challenges that once seemed overwhelming might start to feel more manageable. You might find yourself more appreciative of the people in your life and the experiences you have. Remember, gratitude isn't about ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to acknowledge and appreciate the good, even in the midst of challenges. This balanced perspective can help you navigate life's ups and downs with more resilience and optimism. As we wrap up our exploration of how thoughts shape reality, let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've undertaken. We've delved into the power of awareness, the importance of choosing our thoughts, the necessity of patience, the art of focusing on what we want, and the transformative power of gratitude. Remember, unveiling reality isn't about magically changing the world around you overnight. It's about gradually shifting your perception, your thoughts, and consequently, your experience of the world. It's about recognizing the incredible power you have to shape your reality through your thoughts and perceptions. This journey is ongoing. There will be days when it feels easy and natural, and days when it's more challenging. That's okay. Each moment is a new opportunity to practice these principles, to choose your thoughts consciously and to shape your reality. As you continue on this path, you might find that not only does your personal reality change, but you also start to have a positive impact on those around you. Your shifted perspective can inspire others, creating a ripple effect of positive change. Remember, you have the power to unveil a reality that's filled with more possibility, joy, and fulfillment than you might have imagined possible. It all starts with your thoughts. So, what reality will you choose to unveil today? Thank you for joining me on this journey of unveiling reality. I encourage you to take these principles, make them your own, and use them to create a life that truly resonates with your deepest desires and highest potential. Your thoughts are powerful. Use them wisely and watch as your reality transforms before your eyes.